everyone. Good morning. It's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to 60 and Me. Hope that you're doing great today. It's a beautiful morning here, very warm, and summer has arrived, and I love it. But we have a very interesting weather pattern here. It's sunny and hot during the day, and then about 7 o'clock at night, the storm clouds come in and we have thunder and lightning, really dramatic weather, and I kind of like that. You know, I kind of like the seasons as much as I like the changing weather patterns. And like the day's very warm, so you can kind of just go out and do your errands early in the morning before it gets too hot, and then come back in and work. I have a fan that I normally have on me during the day, but it's a bit noisy when I'm doing videos. But so anyway, I hope that you're enjoying some nice sunny weather wherever you are. And for our sisters in Australia, New Zealand, hope you're keeping warm. I know you have this is your season for the cold weather. So anyway, we're all just so lucky to be here on this beautiful planet, and be grateful for what the weather we are offered and given. So this is one of these days though that I look back on other places that I have lived and kind of have this sense of nostalgia for different climates, different people, different places. And I think that's okay now and again. But so I decided that rather than have a cup of tea, I'm going to have my thought drink, which is coffee. So I'm having a drink of coffee. It's kind of a drink for me that is associated with thinking and planning and doing. Have a cup of coffee and then move on with whatever it is you're doing. Shopping decisions, people decisions, whatever, coffee. So coffee is my drink today. Now, the reason I am being a little bit nostalgic here is I was actually thinking to talk to you about an interview that I did some time ago with a Dr. John Medina. He's a neuroscientist, and we talked about the aging brain, and it was the most fascinating talk. We talked about the things that were important, to a healthy brain, and of course those were the ones we all know: nutrition, exercise, sleep, and stress. I think those were the four that he really talked about as being super important. But then we got talking about another one that we think is just as powerful for a healthy brain and healthy living, and that's nostalgia. And the power of memory and nostalgia to bring us back to healthy thinking and healthy living. And perhaps some of you have seen that amazing video on YouTube with an elderly gentleman who had Alzheimer's, dementia, and he was not talking very much into himself, and his granddaughter brought in some music for him to listen to, and it was of his favorite Cab Calloway, I think, old jazz. And as soon as he heard it, his whole body just lit up. He remembered the words, he was singing. It was just a remarkable instance of how nostalgia, how powerful. So on this, this interview, we talked about positive memories and how to bring nostalgia into your life without making it overwhelmingly sad or reflective. So first thing is, surround yourself with positive things from the past. Do you have paintings or pictures, family pictures, or something that you bought on holiday, or just a little gift that you bought yourself that has just an amazing packed emotion around it? And look around your house. I mean, how much space have you given to things that you really, really love? And how much do you give them an opportunity to be treasured? So I think that's the first thing, is just appreciate how much you've accomplished and put things that have meaning for you in a special place. Give them honor, honor them. And then the next thing you can do is to write your life story. We've talked about this quite a bit, about creating a lasting legacy for yourself and for your grandchildren and your children. And my son was asking me the other day some details about my past, and I realized he didn't know about some instances of travel and things that I've done. And so it was really fun to share with him, just the story. But that whole idea of telling your life story in maybe a more formal way. Now, I've done something really cool I wanted to share with you. There's lots and lots of options for you. You can just get a blank piece of paper and just start writing. There's several online sites that you can visit where they have like templates that you can follow. And I do so much work on the internet and on the computer. I thought it would be fun to have a book instead. And I, for some reason, just couldn't ever start writing about my life. I read about everything else, but not my life. And so I went out and I bought this book. It's called The Book of Me. And I hope that's not backwards to you, but anyway, it's called The Book of Me. And it's a do-it-yourself memoir. And what's really cool about this book is I've actually been writing in it for a while. I've actually taken some time every afternoon, I think you'll see, but I've just been reading and writing, and it's just my life of personal history. And I must be through about 40 pages now. And I'll just look at the next question and ask you. Well, it's everything from describe your neighbors to what makes a good neighbor. Have you ever had a fight with a neighbor? And so these questions kind of drive you through a process, like what do you do in an average week now? You know, what do you do for work? And then it talks about, there was one the other day I read that, it was something like, instead of having 3 wishes that come true, what are 3 questions that you would like to ask someone where you are guaranteed an honest answer? It was really powerful. That one really got to me. So anyway, this little book I've been writing in, so it's just my way, but there's lots of other options that you can use just to put it down in writing about yourself, who you are, what's important, and to look back on your past. There was a lot of coverage in this book about schools and friends in school, just experiences as you were growing up. It's good. I think it's a good thing for many of us to do this. So that's the next thing, is prepare for your future by writing it down. Another thing is to make your own soundtrack, your nostalgia soundtrack. And it's pretty similar to what I was talking about with this gentleman, where there were certain songs that just completely were evocative to him and brought him back to a time in his life where he was healthy and well, and he could remember words and he could sing and he could be himself. So, you know, what songs would you add to your nostalgia soundtrack? What songs are there in your life that, you know, there's probably 10 that you could pick that really, really speak to a time in your life, and, you know, what would they be? You know, I often think about this because I have very eclectic taste as a teenager. I loved Joni Mitchell and all the folk, you know, Joan Collins, all the folk singers. But I also loved Blondie. I loved her. She was I thought she was just an amazing presence and such energy. And, you know, so I listened to very eclectic stuff. And I remember I lived in Detroit for many years, and I was so into Motown. And, you know, Gladys Knight and the Pips, you know, Midnight Train to Georgia. Don't know why. Maybe, oh, actually, now that I say it, it's because I love trains, right? I'm a complete train nut. So her Midnight Train to Georgia was one of my songs that you play that to me and it brings back 1,000 memories. Very beautiful. The power of music. So I think that's a really cool thing to do. So those are a few things. I mean, there's another one, memory walking. I make sure I note this one because I do this a lot. And this is where you go out for a walk with the specific intention to walk fast, keep the energy going, keep your brain healthy that way, but also to just remember, you know, as you walk along, where did you live as a child? Where did you walk as a child? What did the houses look like? What color were the doors? Who lived in certain houses? You know, what were the things that you used to do when you'd play in the street? You know, ask yourself, you know, where did you go and pick blueberries with your friends? Where did you sell them? You know, just kind of remember all the little detail around one street, one place, maybe one city. Memory walking. I think I don't know if that actually anybody has done that. I just kind of made that up, I think, but it's just kind of an idea that I do. I also do a tracking of my life going from the earliest memory through present day, and literally try to remember a whole year of activity when I was 13. And it's really cool, and maybe you can't remember. So pick up the phone and ask someone, if you're lucky enough to have your mom or dad still with you, or friends who just knew you then. It's really a cool exercise. So embrace the power of nostalgia. It's a powerful strategy at any age, really, but make your home a shrine to your memories. write your life story, practice memory walking, and create a memory soundtrack. Those are 4 ideas, and you've probably got a few that you could share with us as well. So if you've got a way that you bring memories and nostalgia into your life, share in the comments below. It'd be really fun to have a conversation about that. And I always love your conversations anyway. I must spend hours reading your comments, your feedback, trying to respond. But you just do it yourselves. I mean, you just get on with it. And I love that about this community. I love the fact that you reach out to one another. And so I would encourage you, we're at a time now where we've got lots of things to pull together. So tell a friend or two about this 60andMe experience and get them to join you watching the videos. And then have a chat. Go for a walk. And that's another thing, by the way, that Dr. Medina highlighted 1,000,000,000%, including another doctor I just interviewed, John Ratey, is social engagement. Find a tribe. Find the people that love what you do and create a community. I mean, this 60andMe is wonderful, but we're not all together. We're emotionally and virtually a team, a community. But it's good to have people close by you too that you can touch and hug. So, do you agree that nostalgia has a key to healthy aging? So nostalgia is a key to healthy aging. Leave your comments below. Let's have a conversation. And thank you again from the bottom of my heart for being here. And I really do look forward to seeing you all again really soon. Take good care, everybody. Bye-bye for now.